41 folders were recovered from Daniel R. Voss's storage unit in the spring of 2019, but his own index, written in his own hand, accounts for 42. Investigators with the Hollis County Sheriff's Office assumed a folder had been lost during the seizure. They closed the matter in a single line on Incident Report 8814. I spent 3 years believing them, until I started digitizing the recovered material and noticed that Daniel referenced the missing file 46 separate times. Always by the same designation, always in the present tense, as though it were a thing he was still actively keeping. The storage facility sits off Brennan Road, Unit 212, a corrugated metal box in a row of identical corrugated metal boxes. It smells of motor oil and dust and the particular cold that concrete holds in October. I had been there before. The fluorescent tube over the door buzzes at a frequency that gives you a headache after about 10 minutes. I had always assumed the unit was empty of anything new. The first crack was the electrical panel. It sat flush against the back wall, except it didn't. Not quite. There was a gap of perhaps half an inch on the left side that the original inventory photographs, dated April 9th, 2019, did not show. The panel had been moved by someone after the seizure. Behind it was folder 42. The following account is reconstructed from that folder and from my own subsequent research. Some of it I cannot verify. Some of it I have stopped trying to. Unlike the other 41 files, folder 42 contains no victims, no photographs of the grey-jacketed man Daniel spent his life documenting, no newspaper clippings, no maps, no marked intersections. It contains measurements, thousands of them, recorded in pencil across decades, the earliest dated 1978 and the latest only weeks before Daniel's death. Every single entry records the same figure, 39 feet, 6 inches, page after page after page of the same distance, written until the graphite wore the paper thin. At some point, Daniel's notes make clear he stopped following the man. The man was not the pattern. The distance was. So Daniel began measuring the empty place where the man should have stood and recording it, and that place was always exactly 39 feet, 6 inches behind whoever was watching for him. Folded into the back was a list. Every name from the original 41 files. Every person connected to the disappearances Daniel had tracked. Margaret E. Calloway, Thomas P. Reyes, Del Anders. Beside each name was a date, not the date they vanished. A second date, months or years later. I am a methodical person. I pulled what I could for each second date. Traffic camera stills off the county archive, tourist photographs from public albums, a church picnic, a ribbon cutting, a school fundraiser photographed by the Hollis County Register on a Tuesday in the autumn of 2008. They are all there. In the background of photographs taken months and years after they disappeared, the missing people stand. None of them look at the camera. None of them look distressed. Margaret Calloway, who vanished in 1991, stands at the edge of a parking lot in 2004, hands at her sides facing the photographer. I measured her position against the known dimensions of the marked spaces in the lot. She is 39 feet, 6 inches from the lens. They all are. Every one of them in every photograph occupies the same distance behind the person holding the camera. The final page of the folder breaks the pattern. There are no measurements on it. There is a grid, hand-drawn, 9 cells by 9, the precise arrangement Daniel warns against constructing in 3 separate files, the one configuration he underlines and circles and tells the reader never to complete. Beneath the grid, in handwriting that has lost all of its earlier discipline, that trembles in a way nothing else in his decades of records ever trembles, Daniel wrote one sentence. He never moved. They did. I sat with that for a long time. The honest investigator's instinct is to find the trick, the double exposure, the coincidence of crowd photography across a small county. I looked. I will tell you that I looked and that I am very good at looking, and that I have a folder of my own now considerably thinner than Daniel's, in which I have written down every reason this should not be true. It is not a comforting folder. Daniel R. Voss died of a heart attack in his apartment in February of 2019. He was 61. No one was with him. I had stopped working on this. I want that on the record. I had boxed the files and told myself I was finished. Last month my sister sent me a photograph from my niece's birthday. Everyone is laughing. I am in the centre, mid-sentence, not looking at the lens. There is a figure at the back of the yard. I measured it against the fence line, which I built myself. The posts set at 8-foot intervals. 39 feet, 6 inches.